Okay, picture this. I'm about 8 years old, and the day I'd been dreaming of is finally here. Halloween. I'd seen it in cartoons, the animated characters with their pillowcases overflowing with treats. I'd heard the older kids at school whispering in the hallways, mapping out their routes like seasoned generals, talking about which houses gave out the full-size candy bars. But for me, it was all just a story, a piece of folklore from the world of bigger kids. This was my very first time actually doing it, the night the myth was going to become real. I was so excited I could barely sit still while my mom helped me into my costume. I went as a wizard, because what's more magical than that? The robe was an old bathrobe, the hat was construction paper that kept slipping over my eyes, and the wand was my masterpiece, a chopstick coated in glitter glue. I waved it around, completely convinced of its power. Yeah, I was that kid, lost in the fantasy. The moment we stepped outside, the whole neighborhood felt different. It was like walking into another dimension. Familiar houses were now glowing, breathing entities with jack-o'-lanterns grinning on every porch. There were fake spider webs stretched across every bush, and the crisp air smelled like fallen leaves, wood smoke, and the sweet promise of candy. I remember gripping my empty pumpkin bucket so hard, my knuckles turned white. At the first house, I was so nervous I almost forgot what to say. My heart was pounding as I rang the bell, but I took a deep breath, and when the door opened, I squeaked out, "Trick or treat!" The lady smiled and dropped a handful of candy into my bucket. The clatter it made hitting the plastic bottom was the best sound ever. Instant sugar jackpot. After that, I was unstoppable. The nervousness was gone, replaced by pure adrenaline. I darted from house to house, joining a pack of friends, a ghost, a vampire, a superhero. We were a tiny, fearless army on a sugar-fueled quest. And as we ran between the pools of light, the conversation turned to the truly scary stuff. Not plastic skeletons, but neighborhood legends. The vampire in our group swore he'd seen a ghostly figure in the window of the old Miller house, a pale face just watching. The ghost, our friend Sarah, countered with the story of the whispering woods behind our school, where you could supposedly hear voices of kids who got lost decades ago. These stories were the secret currency of the night, making the shadows seem deeper and the rustling leaves sound like footsteps. We compared loot, dodged the genuinely terrifying older kids in creepy masks, and laughed at the silly inflatable decorations dancing on people's lawns. We were on a mission, and then we saw it. The one house all the legends seemed to circle back to. It stood at the end of the street, shrouded in a thick rolling fog from a hidden machine. We dared each other to go, our bravado barely masking our genuine fear. As we crept up the walkway, a skeleton on a spring launched out of the bushes, its eyes flashing a demonic red. I screamed so loud I almost dropped my candy, a perfect mix of terror and delight. My friends were screaming and laughing right behind me. It was the scariest and best moment of the night. By the end of the night, my feet hurt, my face was sticky from eating way too many sweets, and my costume was a mess. But I didn't care. The heavy weight of my bucket was a trophy. That feeling of running around in the dark, part of a secret club of costume kids, surrounded by friends with a bucket full of candy and a heart full of excitement, that's a core memory I'll never forget. So if you've never tried trick-or-treating, trust me, you gotta do it at least once. It's pure magic. And now, the greatest magic is seeing that same wonder in my own child's eyes. I get to help with the costume, hold their hand, and watch their face light up when that first candy clatters into their bucket. I get to pass on the tradition, watching them create their own memories of running through the dark. And as they hesitate at a spooky door, I lean down and whisper, "You've got this."